It was 12:18 a.m. The kind of quiet that doesn't feel normal, the kind that makes you notice every little sound. Allie was home alone. His parents had left earlier that evening for a wedding, and he had decided to stay behind. At the time, it felt like freedom. An empty house, no rules, no noise. But now, something about the silence felt wrong. He lay on his bed scrolling through his phone, trying to ignore that uneasy feeling creeping in his chest. The ceiling fan spun slowly above him, making a soft, repetitive hum. Usually it was comforting. Tonight it felt louder, like it was filling the silence instead of breaking it. Allie shifted on the bed, adjusting his position, trying to relax. That's when he heard it. Tap. He froze. For a second he thought it came from his phone. Maybe a video still playing. But then, tap. Tap. Allie slowly sat up. The sound was coming from outside his room. More specifically, from the bathroom down the hallway. He frowned. "Did I leave the tap running?" he muttered under his breath. It sounded like water dripping. Slow, steady, repetitive. Annoying enough to make him get up. Allie swung his legs off the bed and stood up, the cool floor pressing against his feet. He walked toward his bedroom door and opened it. The hallway was dim. A single yellow light at the far end barely lit the space, leaving most of it in shadow. The bathroom door was closed. Allie stepped out, his footsteps soft, but somehow echoing more than they should. The house felt bigger, quieter, like it was listening. Tap, tap, tap. The sound was clearer now, definitely from inside the bathroom. Allie walked closer, stopping just in front of the door. He reached out and grabbed the handle, turned it. It didn't move. He paused, tried again. Still nothing. Locked. Allie frowned. "Why is it locked?" he whispered. He hadn't used that bathroom all evening. No one else was home, so who locked it? For a moment, he just stood there staring at the door, listening. Tap, tap, tap. The dripping continued, steady, unbothered. Allie leaned in slightly. "Hello?" he called out. No response. Just the dripping. He swallowed. "Is someone in there?" Silence. Then, knock. Allie jumped back slightly. His heart skipped. He stared at the door. Did that just knock? Knock? This time there was no doubt. Someone or something had just knocked from the inside. Allie's breathing slowed, but only because he was trying to control it. Okay, not funny," he said, forcing a weak laugh. But there was no one to hear it, no one to respond. The house remained completely still. Then his phone buzzed. The sudden vibration made him flinch. He quickly pulled it out of his pocket. Unknown number. A message. Allie hesitated for a second, then opened it. "Don't open it." His stomach dropped. He stared at the screen. "What?" he whispered. Another sound from the bathroom. Knock, knock, knock. Louder this time, more aggressive. Allie looked back at the door, then at his phone again. "How does someone even know?" he muttered. His fingers moved quickly as he typed. "Who is this?" He hit send. The message delivered instantly, but no reply came. Instead, knock, knock, knock. 3 sharp hits, like whatever was inside was getting impatient. O'Reilly slowly lowered his phone. His eyes drifted down toward the bottom of the door. That's when he saw it, a shadow, faint, but clearly visible under the gap, like someone was standing on the other side. Allie leaned slightly closer, trying to make sense of it. And then, his breath caught in his throat. The shadow wasn't normal. It looked wrong. The shape was there, feet, legs. But the angle, it was upside down, as if the person casting it wasn't standing on the floor, as if they were above. Allie stumbled back a step. No, that's not possible," he whispered. His heart was pounding now, loud enough that he could hear it in his ears. Then suddenly, click, the bathroom light turned on. Allie's eyes widened. The shadow shifted, slowly, unnaturally, like something adjusting its position. And then a voice, soft, familiar. Allie, his entire body went cold. He knew that voice. He had heard it his whole life. Allie, open the door, honey. It was his mom. Allie's lips parted slightly. Mom? He said, barely above a whisper. He took a small step forward, confusion mixing with fear. But then, his phone buzzed again. Allie looked down at the screen. Another message. He opened it, and instantly, every bit of warmth left his body. That's not your mother. Allie's hand slowly lowered from the door handle. His eyes stayed locked on the message. That's not your mother. For a moment, everything went silent. Even the dripping stopped. Allie could hear nothing but his own heartbeat. Loud, fast, uncontrolled. He looked back at the bathroom door. The light inside was still on. The shadow under the door had shifted. Now it looked normal, like someone was standing upright, waiting. Allie, the voice came again, soft, calm, too calm. Open the door, it's me. Allie's throat tightened. It sounded exactly like her. Every tone, every pause, or every detail. But something felt off, not wrong enough to explain, just wrong enough to feel. Allie took a step back. No, you're not my mom, he said, his voice shaking. There was a pause, a long one. Then, a quiet, unnatural laugh. Low, distorted, like two voices layered on top of each other. Then who am I? Allie's stomach twisted. His grip tightened around his phone. He didn't answer. Couldn't answer. The air in the hallway suddenly felt heavier, harder to breathe. Then, the shadow under the door moved again. But this time, it didn't just shift, it changed. Allie watched in horror as the shape slowly, unnaturally, flipped, like something correcting itself, like something learning how to stand. His eyes widened, his body locked in place. This isn't real, he whispered, but deep down, he knew it was. Then his phone buzzed again. A new message. Allie didn't want to look, but he did, slowly, carefully. Do not let it out. Allie's breathing became shallow. He took another step back, then another, creating distance between himself and the door. Behind him, the hallway stretched into darkness. Too dark, too quiet. Then, creak. Allie froze. The sound didn't come from the bathroom. It came from behind him, slowly. He turned his head. At the far end of the hallway, something was standing there. Allie's vision blurred for a second, his brain refusing to process what he was seeing. But as his eyes adjusted, the shape became clear. Same height, same posture, same clothes. Allie stopped breathing, because standing there, at the end of the hallway, was him. Not similar, not close, exact. Same face, same expression, same everything. Allie took a shaky step back. No, he whispered. The thing didn't move. It just stood there, staring, unblinking, watching him. Then, it tilted its head, slowly, in a way that no normal person would. Allie's heart slammed against his chest. Then, click. The bathroom door behind him unlocked. Allie's eyes snapped back. The handle began to turn, slowly, deliberately. Creak. The door started to open. Allie didn't want to look, but he couldn't stop himself. Inside the bathroom, another figure stood, half hidden in the light, and as it stepped forward, Allie felt his entire body go numb, because it was the same. Again, another version of him. Now there were two, one behind him, one in front of him, both staring, both silent, both wrong. Allie stumbled backward, caught between them. His breathing turned into panic. "What do you want from me?" he shouted. For a second, nothing happened. Then both of them spoke, at the same time. Same voice, same tone, same words. "If we want to know." A pause, their heads tilted slightly, in perfect sync. Which one of us is real? Allie's vision shook. His mind spiraled. This doesn't make sense. This isn't possible, he muttered. Then his phone buzzed again. He looked down, hands trembling. Another message, short, simple. Run! That was enough. Allie didn't think, didn't question. He turned and ran, fast as he could, down the hallway, his footsteps echoing loudly. Behind him, he heard it. Footsteps, more than one, matching his speed, getting closer. Allie didn't look back. He couldn't. He reached the stairs and rushed down, nearly slipping. His hand dragged along the wall to keep balance. Behind him, the footsteps followed. Not one, not two, multiple, too many. Allie's heart felt like it was going to explode. He hit the bottom of the stairs and ran straight into the living room. Everything looked off. A chair knocked over. A table slightly moved, like something had already been there, like something had been waiting. Allie didn't stop. He kept running, straight toward the front door. Freedom. That was all that mattered. Behind him, the footsteps suddenly stopped. Complete silence. Allie reached for the handle, his hand shaking violently, and grabbed it. Just as something whispered, right behind his ear. Don't go outside. Allie's entire body froze. Allie froze. His hand was still on the front door handle, and that whisper, it came from right behind him. Cold. Close. Don't go outside. His entire body locked up. He didn't turn around. He couldn't. His breath became shallow, uneven. For a moment, he just stood there, caught between two choices. Behind him, something unnatural, something that looked like him, something that knew his voice. And in front of him, the outside. Dark, empty, unknown. Then his phone buzzed again. The sudden vibration snapped him back. Allie quickly looked down. A new message. If you leave, it will follow. Allie's heart dropped. What? He whispered. His grip tightened on the handle. Another message came instantly. You were safe inside. Allie's breathing grew faster. His thoughts started racing. Safe? Inside? Yet with those things? That didn't make any sense. Behind him, the house remained completely silent. Too silent. Like everything was waiting for him to decide. Allie slowly turned his head, just a little, trying to see behind him without fully looking. Nothing. No footsteps. No movement. Just darkness. But he could feel it. That presence. Close. Watching. Waiting. Then, his phone buzzed again. Allie looked down. Another message. It learns from you. Allie's eyes widened. Learns? Before he could think further, the whisper came again. This time, clearer, closer, right next to his ear. Allie! He flinched. Terror shot through his body. That voice, it was his, not his mother's. Not distorted, not copied. Perfect, exactly like him. Don't leave. We can fix this. Allie's breathing broke into panic. No, 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 he muttered. He didn't wait anymore. He yanked the door open and ran outside. Cold night air hit him instantly. He stumbled forward onto the street, almost losing his balance. The silence outside was different, wider, empty, but still wrong. Allie kept moving, putting distance between himself and the house, his chest heaving, his legs shaking. Finally, he stopped, bent forward slightly, trying to catch his breath. Okay. I'm out, he whispered. I'm out. Slowly, he turned around and looked back at the house. Upstairs, the bathroom light was still on. From the window, a figure stood there, watching him. Allie's stomach twisted, even from a distance. He could tell. It was him, again, standing still, unmoving, just staring. Then his phone buzzed. Allie hesitated, then looked down. Heard a new message. You made a mistake. Allie's chest tightened. What do you mean? He whispered. Another message appeared. Now it doesn't need the house anymore. Allie's eyes widened, a cold realization creeping in. Slowly, very slowly, he lowered his phone and looked around. The street was empty. No cars, no people, no sound, just flickering streetlights. And then, one of the lights behind him flickered. Once, twice, then stayed on. Allie didn't move, didn't breathe. Something felt different, like he wasn't alone anymore. Then, a shadow stretched across the ground, long, distorted, not matching his body. Allie's heart stopped, because the shadow was moving, before he did, slowly. Allie turned around, and what he saw made his entire body go numb. Standing a few feet away from him was something, tall, unnatural, its shape, unstable, like it couldn't fully decide what it wanted to be. Its face, glitching, shifting, between his face and something else, something darker, something wrong. Allie stumbled back. What are you?" he whispered. The thing tilted its head, just like the others. Then it smiled, a slow, unnatural smile, and spoke, in his voice, perfect, calm. "You opened the wrong door." Allie's breath caught, his vision blurred. His mind couldn't process it anymore. The thing took one step closer, then another. The streetlight above them flickered violently. Allie turned to run, but before he could, his phone dropped from his hand, hitting the ground with a dull sound. The screen lit up. One final message. Too late. The light flickered again, and everything went dark.